I listen to a favorite song playing on the radio. I listen to a favorite song playing on the radio. Every rose has its thorn. Every rose has its thorn. Just like every... Hello, Henning Pauli here on the channel that's called HP42. In case you don't know that, because you might not be a guitar player, you might be a producer, or a singer, or a songwriter, or any combination of the above. Arranger, anything, musician. AI vocals sounds like a bad thing. But is it? And is AI vocals really AI? Is there really artificial intelligence? Or is it really just EQs and filters applied? I don't know. We are very used to replacing, adding, helping a kick drum and a snare. If we have recorded a drum set and we want to improve what we've done in the studio, we will isolate the kick drum track and add a sample of a better kick drum on top of it, a sample of a better snare on top of it. It's pretty normal, right? We are now completely okay with that. Even complete drum samples, drum programming, completely normalized. So we're helping a not so good recording, not performance, recording. Performance still needs to be there. That's normal, right? What about Autotune? I mean, that's a bad thing. Autotune for, real perform music. That's we don't even talk about that. But listen to pop, R&B, hip hop, where Autotune has become this thing where it's just part of the sound, and it's a horrible sound. It's so robotic. We are making human beings sound not like human beings. It is, to me, musically, creatively disgusting. We are now at a stage of technology where vocals are also something we can help. Where, just like a kick drum, we can say, you know what, the recording wasn't the greatest. Let's put something, let's take what we have, let's take the track that we have, but help it out with a woman accompanying an octave above. Let's take the vocal track we have, that's all great, but the vocalist had to go. But you know what, we want some harmony vocals from a lady. But we don't have a lady doing harmony vocals. We can actually have that now. What about doubling? Now, doubling is a big thing. So you have a vocalist and you want to fatten him up and do a double on the left and a double on the right and help that to come out in the mix. All those are tools during production that we as producers, arrangers, songwriters use. And now with AI vocals, and I'm still questioning whether there's really AI involved or not, or if it's just a buzzword that we're using, a buzzword to make it pop out because it's the new hip technology, or actually it could also be a negative buzzword because AI and music don't mix because it's killing the creativity. It's all bullshit. We're talking about this plugin. It's SoundID VoiceAI. I think that's what it's called. It is. By the nice people from Sonarworks, who actually make the room calibration software, which is running on my Universal Audio X4, making sure that in this room I can actually work. Because before I tuned this room with their software, the right speaker was 5 dB louder and everything was out of whack and too much low end. They make great stuff for room calibration, and they make this, I think, €99 plugin. Honestly, any producer should just have that. $99 is not cost prohibitive, and what it can do is not synthesize voice. There are other companies that do that for quite a bit more money. I use their product. What that can do is take a vocal track, you feed it into it, and you're then changing it to one of the AI vocalists. Again, not sure if it's actual AI, don't care. So what you can do is you can add to the vocals you have an octave above or below from a male or female vocalist, right? You could double left and right. You could add 2 vocals to the left, 2 vocals to the right. You could do harmonies. Well, not automatic harmony generation. What you could do is sing a harmony halfway okay, but your voice isn't going to cut it, and then replace it with their voices. I am a guy who's known for working with pretty high-end vocalists and making them sound very good. I'm a very good vocal coach, and I can get performances out of them that otherwise they probably wouldn't have done. And that's not me saying that, that's the international press saying that. So I've worked with James LaBrie from Dream Theater, Sebastian Bach from Skid Row and others, Steve Walsh from Kansas, Michael Satter from Saga, blah, blah, long list. I'm used to very good vocalists. I can do everything myself on my albums. What I cannot do is sing. Can I convey to the vocalist what I want? Yes, I can sing halfway in tune, not really perfectly there. I don't have all the vocal skills. And definitely, I don't have the voice. This plugin can take my performance and change it into a good voice. However, what it cannot do is make it a great vocal performance, because it's voice changing what I put in. But what it can do is make me sound good enough so that for certain projects, whether it's a demo or a YouTube review of a pedal or for certain things, I don't need to bring a vocalist in the studio. Just like I'd rather work with a drummer in the studio, but you know what? I'm doing drum programming because for certain things, that's fine. Now, if you have a great vocal performance by your lead vocalist in the band and he just is too busy and he can't come in and you want to play around with harmonies, doubles, blah, 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 for $99, now that is fully possible. The results are pretty damn cool. It cannot do everything, but it's a fairly simple plugin that can get you, as a non-vocalist, get shit done. And that's pretty damn amazing. I love working with this because I'm actually finishing things without having to wait a week for a vocalist to come in, then spend half a day with a vocalist. I can get things done just by me singing myself. What does it sound like? Let's check this out. So, if I sing, let's take a line. Let's take a line of me singing. Right? That's pretty damn horrible. But
let's take a line of me singing.
It was still me, but that thing. But
let's take a line of me singing.
it's another option. Let's do one more.
Let's take a line of me singing.
I have no idea what the results are. I'll find out once I process that. I have used this in quite a few tracks. Well, let me show you a couple of examples.
Built without a soul, empire of synergy, rule the night, building capsules in the light, the sonic form.
Dusty window fingers tweaks. Sun whispers loud in tiny leaks. says with glee, let's see what happens when we break gravity.
Madness is magic, a genius untamed. The whirlwind of brilliance no one can flame. In a cabin of wonder under northern skies, she dreams of a world where logic defies.
Yes, they were all for guitar reviews and stuff where this made total sense. There was no point in bringing in vocalists for that kind of a thing because honestly, I wouldn't have dedicated the time and money and resources, which is money, to do that. So great. But actually having the doubles, killer for any project. Doing harmonies, killer. Now I did a pedal review where I did a cover of Every Rose Has Its Thorn, kind of like a punk thing. I added an octave from a female vocalist, and because the stems that I got from the original Every Rose Has Its Thorn and then speeding it up were not great quality, I sang it myself. So let me show you the before and after. It's pretty scary. Both lie silently still in the dead of the night.
Although we both lie close together, we feel
Miles apart inside. Was it something I said?
something I did. Did my words not come out right? No, I tried not
To hurt you, though I tried. But I guess
That's why they say every rose has its thorn. Just
like every
night has its dawn. Just like
every cowboy sings a sad.
sad song. Every rose has its thorn.
I listen to a favorite song.
Playing on the radio. Yeah, the DJ saying that's the game of things.
Come in, easy go. But I wonder, does he know?
And if the ever felt like this, and I know that you'd be here right now.
I could've let you know somehow, I guess.
Every rose has its thorn. Just like every night has its dawn.
So yeah, that's possible. However, it is translating what you have done, meaning if you sing out of key, it will be out of key. If you have a lisp, which I do, it's gonna have a lisp. So it's not making it a gold record. If you give it a shitty performance, out of time, out of key, it will still be out of time, out of key with a better vocalist. So you do have to go in and pitch correct. Don't auto-tune the shit out of it and make it bad. That it won't work, right? Tune it subtly. Help your voice as much as it needs help. And then SoundID VoiceAI can actually put a better sounding vocalist on top of it. Let me show you how that works in Cubase. Okay, and as you can see here we are in Cubase. I got SoundID VoiceAI, that's a lot to say, open. However, this is a sequence that was already done. Now, if you work with this plugin and you generate the voices, it said it's already captured and all that stuff, but then you open up the sequence again, it is not going to play the AI voice. In order for this to stay, you have to freeze the track before you close a session, which also means if a session crashes, which can happen from time to time, your AI voices will be gone if you have not previously frozen them. So that's definitely a drawback. It's not the most quick process. So let me show you how this works. I do have a fully AI generated voice up here from this AI generated song.
What's so deep where the shadows play? An old mad professor makes the world obey.
Now there are a lot of artifacts from the stem splitting process. This is a starting point, but it's not great, right? So I wanted to have it a lot clearer. So I had to sing it. So here's me singing that.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old mad professor makes the world obey.
So that's me singing, right? Just like this probably.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old mad professor.
Why do I have that twice? Well, because one was the lead and one was the double. And I will show you, because even though that's the same thing, you can see vocals 03, vocals 03, it's the same file. VoiceAI plugin thing will make that work. So I'll solo this, and it's open on these tracks, right? Okay, well, let's start with this. So here we got Rebecca. What you can do is just click on one and it'll preview.
This is my voice.
This is my voice.
This is my voice.
This is my voice.
This is my voice. This is my voice. This is my voice.
And so on and so on.
This is my voice.
Now, there are different things that I haven't touched on, like you can do a talk box.
This is my voice.
You can actually sing doom, 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 and it'll translate that to bass if you want to be creative, which is why it's under creative. Now, if you quickly want to show your band members, oh, by the way, here's a little saxophone solo, that's where it could sound like, you know, okay, fine, you know. You could do that. Oh, it says processed, show file. I've never seen that. So I could actually probably drag that in.
Had to go in the finish there where secrets explode.
So you could literally just now drag that into your session. So it's not lost, but it won't play right now when the sequence opens up again. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
This is my voice.
And I don't know why I did it an octave down, because this is definitely too low for her, but let's try it. Also, the way that you have to do it, I'm going to remove this. If I want to voice AI this whole vocal track, I'm going to have to feed it that whole vocal track. If I'm only feeding it, let's say, these two blocks, I cannot later add the other blocks. If you wanted to do that, the way you have to do it is, it's pretty annoying. Double the tracks, get rid here, and do that. So if you want to do it block by block because you want more control and quicker changes to individual parts, you're going to have a lot of vocal tracks, right? So sometimes just for the one lead voice, I have 6 or 7 tracks because you can only process the whole track, not individual bits here or there. So let me show you. You hit capture, and then you play.
In the woods so deep where
and I stop it. That vocal performance wasn't perfect, but also it was tuned after the fact to get, that way. So stop. So now it captured it, it analyzed it, and now I can start processing. Pitch is auto, so if it's too low for her, it would actually pitch it up an octave, but I want her up an octave, so I'm going to click 12 and see what happens, and I start processing. And that shouldn't be too long because it's only that bit. If it's the whole line, of course, it will take a while. Now, it is advisable to do a little chunk, see if the vocalist works for you, and then do the whole thing, just more efficient. So we're done. AI voice enabled or disabled. Let's see.
The woods so deep where the shadows play, an old mad professor makes the world obey with gears and sparks and a crazy laugh.
It's a little bit wonky in the beginning there.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old mad.
It's also my performance, so no, she wouldn't be right there.
This is my voice.
Try Samuel at 0. And you don't have to retrain or recapture, just reprocess. Done.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play,
an old math professor makes a world obey with gears and sparks and a crazy laugh.
A little bit nasal.
This is my voice. In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old math professor makes the world obey with gears and sparks and a crazy laugh. Got a plan that will split time itself in half.
That works rather well for that part and that range. You have to be kind of in the range where the vocalist works.
Hair's like smoke and the coat's worn thin, a twinkle in the eye where the chaos begins. Smartest equation the world can't decode. In the finish there where secrets explode.
Again, it is still my performance. Little timing issues and you know, pitch ramping. If you're not a great vocalist, it's not going to be a great vocal. But if you have a great vocalist helping, good idea. And also much better than my performance, which is this.
Hair's like smoke and the coat's worn thin, a twinkle in the eye where the chaos begins.
Smartest equation the world can't decode. In the
So quite a bit better, right? There is a nice variety of vocalists. Some raspy, nothing metalish. Most of these AI vocal tools are great for clean stuff, hip hop, R&B, pop. The really aggressive stuff is raspiness is noise, and that's more difficult to synthesize actually, I think. But there is Simon, who's okay, and there's of course Tyler.
This is my voice.
Who's pretty damn good. Let's try him. Now there's of course a big danger that everyone who wants a raspy vocal is going to use Tyler, and Tyler is going to be the only, you know, rock vocalist around. It can happen.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old math professor makes the world obey with gears and sparks and a crazy laugh. Got a plan that will split time itself.
Okay, that works. So we're going to go to the yellow track, which is really the same performance, and we're going to use that for doubling.
This is my voice.
With Simon. We're going to have to retrain it. You can't copy paste.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play.
Analyzing. So, I will not start processing right away. I'll show you this. When you're in unison mode, it's really just doing the one voice. If we click over here, we can actually add more voices. So I want to use 2 more voices, left and right, like a good double. And I'm going to do some pitch variation, some timing variation, and I want the width to be fully left and right. That way, we're actually helping Tyler with a double from Simon and making him thicker. Now, let me tell you this. Up here, there's a pay-as-you-go. I've got 0 tokens left because I've got the perpetual license. Getting the perpetual license, that's $99 right now, and you're buying that and you can use it as much as you want. However, you could just download it and pay as you go. So if you need that once, or you need it here or there, but $99 seems too steep, you could go to Sonarworks and actually, just like with most AI platforms, pay in tokens. Given that the one-time purchase is $99, that is, I think, the much better deal, because you will find out that you're going to use that quite a bit more often. So I'm going to start the processing. That will take longer because I'm doing les deux, 2 voices. Now, if you're doing this for a whole song, which I recommend, so you don't have all these individual tracks, obviously that's a matter of grabbing some coffee, right? So let's listen to Simon doubled.
In the woods so deep where the
For which, by the way, you need a stereo track. So you can see these are all stereo tracks, even though they have mono files on them.
where the shadows play, an old math professor makes the world obey with gears and sparks and a crazy laugh.
No. Is that the most clean vocal in the world? No, it's not. You can hear digital slurriness, digital artifacts. It's not amazing vocal recording quality. However, for the purpose of what we're doing right here, in context, absolutely inconsequential. as tough as that sounds. So we have this double, right?
My professor makes the world obey.
We're gonna put Tyler in the middle.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old mad professor makes the world obey. With gears and sparks and a crazy laugh, got a plan that will split time itself.
So putting Simon to the left and right, very good idea. Let's listen to that in context.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old mad professor makes the world obey. With gears and sparks and a crazy laugh, got a plan that will split time itself in half. Hair's like smoke and the coat's one thin, a twinkle in the eye where the chaos begins. Smartest equation the world can't decode. In the finish there where secrets explode.
And of course, harmonies. See, all this stuff, all these tracks were harmonies, were then used, you know, some of the ladies. You can really very, very creatively build your track around that.
The mad professor from Finland's wild with the heart of a rebel and the mind of a child. She's a mad professor with a sinister smile. Yeah, she's got all the trouble and a tone's got style.
You could even take the lead vocal, artificially pitch it, create a harmony with very audio, which is what I did here. That was the main lead vocal, which I pitched, and then it didn't sound so great, but fed it into SoundID Voice, and then it sounded great again. So these are all really, really creative options to use this plugin. And I mean, this is good now.
In the woods so deep where the shadows play, an old mad professor makes the world obey. With gears and sparks and a crazy laugh, got a plan that was...
Right? So this is how the plugin works. There are a couple of drawbacks, like if you really want shorter processing time and play around with more things, your sequence might actually look like this. For the lead vocal, for the double, for everything, you know, you get the idea. So there isn't a add this section, you know, so this is all the lead vocal now, which you would have to feed into a group. There isn't an option in the plugin where you can just say capture and then capture again, capture again. It's basic right now. Oh, should we do a fun thing? Let's mute our Simon. Let's go back to Tyler. You will refer to these guys by their names, which is pretty funny. I mean, why not make... No idea. I mean, obviously it makes no sense because I'm singing. And it'll probably sing because I'm not doom, 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 doom. But why not just try, right?
Where the shadows play, an old mad professor makes the world obey. With gears and sparks and a crazy laugh, got a plan that will split time itself in half.
That's pretty funny. So you can do, you know, beatboxing into it, loads of, you know, weird stuff. You can be very, very creative. Plus, who says you have to feed vocals into it? Why not feed a synthesizer into it to... I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I never tried that. That's actually pretty damn cool. What the? I'm sorry. I mean, why vocals? Be creative with it. Cool shit. Have I forgot anything? Pay as you go or perpetual. Doubling. Use it for harmonies. It'll do the auto pitch. You can see it pitched her up automatically. Creative stuff. I mean, we're good. Back to me.
Creative guide to AI music production.
Dreams spill out on me, song like coffee machine home.
Feed that into Rebecca. That sounds wrong, but that's what we're doing. I'm not a great singer. Maybe it's a...
Working in the small room all day long. The only thing I chose is...
So, it's not magic. It's really just some tech that can now help you with vocals, just the way that strings, bass sounds, kick drum, snare drum, samples, loops, and all those things help us to do things that we wouldn't have been able to do ourselves before these things happened. Is it uncreative? Absolutely not. I have to create. It's just making it sound better. See it as a very, very selective EQ. Now, what it can't do at its current state is actually be trained on a vocalist, as far as I know. With other software I have, I could feed my friend Raphael in there, an hour of him, and then I could actually replace my voice for someone that I know. So if you had your own vocalist in the band who you wanted to have available as an AI vocalist, with some other software you could do that. However, let me tell you that the competition for those kind of services and at those tiers, we're talking about $600. That's $99. And you know what? As a tool, like an EQ, like a compressor, like a synthesizer, like a guitar plugin, this is a good thing to have in your arsenal. The tools are now available. You can fight it, but you shouldn't, because it's actually really fun. It's really fun. That's all I can say. I use it in what I do. Would I use that for an album? Doubles? Yes. Harmonies? Yes. Me singing and replacing it with one of their vocalists? I'm going to say a maybe. But I do think that my performance is still not with my vibrato and my pitch curves, and the way I sing is not really lead vocal material, even with VoiceID something AI. But maybe working with this, singing more, I could be a better vocalist. Why don't I sing? Because I'll never sound great enough to be the lead vocal. But that could change. So maybe it's a yes. I don't know. It's definitely a great tool to have for anyone, even working on a demo, scratch thing, doubles. It's a good creative tool, and it's not cost prohibitive and relatively easy to use. That's what I got to say. I'll link below. Toman commissioned this video. They're working with Sonarworks. Sonarworks, good people. Toman, good people. If you think that's something for you to play around with, go for it. If not, then don't. If you're completely anti-AI, and I don't even know if this is AI. So many companies are slapping the term AI on things when it isn't. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But it's a fun tool, and I use it, and that is absolutely the case. And what I'm going to say is animals at the end.